Howdy all, Nate here, and today I'll be fulfilling some subscriber and commenter requests and be comparing Thailand to the Philippines. But before I do that, let me go ahead and get my assistant here to put me in the corner. You don't want to look at me. We'll put up some nice sights of Kamulan Festival, Thailand, things like that. Hey Amy, put me in the corner, all right? They don't want to look at me. I'm sure you guys have already subscribed to the channel. If not, go ahead and do that now. Hit the notification button and hit like if you think I'm on point, and hit dislike if you think I'm a dum-dum and I don't know what I'm talking about. Amy, upper corner, because they're gonna want to see the pretty ladies walk by. Yeah, they don't want to look at me. I'm not good looking. So awesome. Thanks. So Thailand versus Philippines. Let's go. I've spent about a collective 9 months in each, looking more like long-term places. And much like most things we talk about when it comes to like cost of living, quality of life, it really depends on who you are and what you need out of your life and what you're looking for. But this will be my perspective, and I'll try to put some things in context for guys of different needs and different values. Right off the bat, there's housing, right? This is a critical thing you need in order to live. When it comes to Thailand versus Philippines, when you go like very low cost, Philippines wins out. But when I'm talking low cost, I'm talking like unfinished concrete, maybe no windows, maybe just screens, maybe like a big gap in the roof. Philippines is going to be a little bit cheaper when it comes to that quality of life. That's not the quality of life I like. What I like is generally about the same, right? You're looking in that like $150 a month price range. And you're talking hot water heater, air con, or fan room, depending on the climate you're in. The fan rooms are pretty much going to be around the same. When you start getting into the big difference between the two, it's in your more higher upscale quality apartments. So if you want the condo with the gym and the pools and the ping pong tables and the weekly cleaning and this, that, and the other, you're gonna find a better value in Thailand. And it's almost like once you get past that like $250, $300 range, for every $50 or $100 you spend more than that in Thailand, you're getting a huge jump in quality. Whereas here in the Philippines, it appears to me to be the jump in quality isn't as high, even though the cost is the same as a jump. So for instance, I was staying at a place that was pretty brand new in Mega World in Iloilo. And this place alone was costing me like, $600 or so a month. Whereas that same place in a city like Pattaya would be like $400, $500 for like the same exact quality place. I've seen the same thing kind of throughout, and talking with guys, they all pretty much say about the same thing. So that's kind of your housing, is if you want very high quality Thailand, if you're okay with like a fan room or below, they're the equivalent. So you had your housing and you got to eat, right? So when it comes to food, obviously, I think while it offends many people, I don't think it's any surprise that the food in Thailand is better. The spices, the variants, you got your tom kha gai, your tom yum soups, your pad thai, just really a lot of delicious stuff. Now don't get me wrong, the Philippines has some great dishes. I love lumpia. Some of the other things they do are really good, but you just can't compete with Thailand. Thailand's there for the food and it's delicious. As far as cost, I went to places here in the Philippines where I was getting small meals for like $1 or $2, which is the equivalent of what you could have gotten in Thailand many years ago for the same price. I think the food here is slightly cheaper, but you're maybe not finding the freshness and the quality here in the Philippines. So as far as like for value, when you're talking price for quality, I'd have to go Thailand for the food. Transportation, you got to get around, right? Thailand is known as having some of the most dangerous roads in all the world as far as fatal accidents go. but their infrastructure is a lot higher quality as far as the amount of paved roads you can drive on. The amount of like traffic enforcement is higher than the Philippines, I believe, from my experience. But when it comes to your bus system is, I feel like it's better here in the Philippines, along with the ferry system. Obviously it's an island nation, so the ferry system has to be on point in the Philippines, whereas Thailand is a large swath of connected land to a continent. If you're taking the bus system, this is going to be controversial, but I prefer the bus system here in the Philippines. Seems like the buses leave more often. There's a more variance and option for your price, so you can go un-aircon, you can go jeepney, multi-cab, the big air-conditioned buses, right? There's a lot more spectrum for whatever your costs are, and the costs are slightly lower than I found in Thailand. So if you're the kind of guy who drives a motorbike or a car, you'll probably be better off in Thailand, but for a guy like me who takes public transportation, and especially considering the trike system they have in almost every city, Philippines wins that hands down. Your utilities, right? This is another necessity. So when you're talking cell phones, cell phone plans, both countries have pretty equally great deals, right? You're maybe saving $1 or $2 in the Philippines, but overall, your phone plan is not going to be a problem. Electric is relatively comparable. I feel like I was paying a little bit more in Thailand than I am here in the Philippines, but I also don't think I was staying inside my apartment as much as I did when I was in Thailand. So everything's pretty comparable utilities-wise. One other thing besides kind of your utilities, your housing, your food is your health, right? This is a no-brainer. If you watched any videos on it, you can already know that Thailand is better for your medical care and your medical options, specifically Bangkok. Right, some of the other cities are really great, but Bangkok, Thailand is known for its great hospitals, world-renowned. You'll get people coming in from the Arab countries, Japan, other parts of Asia, right? Even Europe. They come to Thailand for cheaper and high-quality medical care. That doesn't mean to say that there's not a lot of medical care here in the Philippines. In fact, I would posit and I opine that there's probably more nurses here than anywhere else per capita in the world, because so many of them do go to college for nursing. So maybe with your like lower level home care aid stuff, be better here in the Philippines, but Thailand's a winner for that. Plus, I'm a big fan of being able to go to the pharmacy and pick up antibiotics and certain other medicines without a prescription. I don't want to spend money or time seeing a doctor. Granted, both countries, there's not the wait you'll find in the United States of having to schedule your appointment far out and then sit in a waiting room for hours. It's really like a walk-in kind of culture in both countries. Even more so Thailand, I believe. But the fact that in Thailand you can go up and get your antibiotics, get what you need, and then get out is a big win. Whereas here in the Philippines, they always want a prescription. So Thailand's going to win for medical care. One of the things you'll find that you kind of need medical care for if you're around long enough is general cleanliness and pollution. So here in the Philippines, it's much more likely to see people publicly urinate. It's much more likely to see people throwing their trash on the ground. It's more of a culture where they don't really think too much in the future about, if I put this trash here, somebody else is going to have to clean it up or it's going to be there forever, right? So as far as like cleanliness like that, Thailand's going to win. And that's not even to mention that when you go to the bathrooms in Thailand, almost all the time they'll have working water and soap, hand soap. Whereas very often, like I'm talking a majority of the time I walk into a restaurant here in the Philippines, they don't even have hand soap. And that's even including if the kitchen staff is going in there and using the same bathrooms as the customer, they're not using hand soap when they wash their hands. And then they're cooking your food, right? So that's a cleanliness issue. Street food, obviously, nobody's cleaning their hands when they're street food. There's no sinks out there, so it is what it is. Hopefully they cook your food up real good. When it comes to the air pollution, though, And this might surprise you, the Philippines, in my opinion, is a big winner in that. There were a lot of places in Thailand during that burning season where I was having difficulty breathing. Like I was having coughing fits, coughing up tar and smoke and stuff. And what it is when they burn all the sugarcane crops and rice husks after they harvest it, and all over the mainland of Southeast Asia, it's a huge, huge amount of these crop burning smoke and pollutants in the sub 2.5 particles, air particles. They just infest the air everywhere. You can see it, it's thick, like you can't see very far. Both countries use coal and open fire to cook food. In the Philippines, it seems like it's a little more concentrated, a little more likely in your urban areas. So here in the Philippines, I'm finding in like these smaller but more compact cities and towns, there's tons of them using that open fire and that coal to cook. And it seems like the smoke is thicker, or they do a less good job of ventilating it up. So that does contribute to the air pollution inside all these cities in the Philippines and even smaller towns. But as far as that burning season goes, it's going to take some time off your life. And if you have some kind of respiratory issue, you're very elderly, it's going to put you in the hospital quicker. So when it comes to air pollution and the kind of that medical need, the Philippines is going to be the winner with less pollution of the air. And for you party boys, we'll get into inebriants and ladies. So with your inebriants, the booze is a little bit cheaper here in the Philippines. Thailand has a better nightlife with bars and clubs, beats out Philippines, but the prices are higher. As far as, your extracurricular type of inebriants, Thailand's got some things legalized that aren't legal here in the Philippines, but I heard they're restricting it. That's just what I heard recently. So when it comes to kind of that extracurricular stuff, you're better off in Thailand. Now for your hardcore stuff, most of the guys seem like they go to Cambodia if they're into that. I don't suggest it anywhere in Asia. You open yourself up for a lot of problems, a lot of troubles. It really depends. If you're a party boy, you like to go out in clubs and you don't mind spending extra money, Thailand's better. If you prefer hanging out with a bunch of buddies on your porch, Philippines is better. And when it comes to the ladies, and I know I'm going to get some feedback from this. When it comes to the ladies, I think most men seem to prefer the look of Thai women. They have a little bit lighter skin, they're a little thinner, a little less rotund. But if all you're after is looks, yeah, okay, Thailand. If you're looking for like a long-term partner, I find that the Philippines, there's a plethora, a whole abundance of women that are looking for a husband, somebody they can live with and grow old with. Whereas in Thailand, it seemed like they were playing a little bit more the field. You were far less likely to find a virgin or a partner without much sexual experience in Thailand. I think it might be that Buddhist culture, that little bit more freedom with less inhibitants, as opposed to the Catholic way of doing things, which is a little more restrictive, a little more feeling shame for those kind of behaviors. So if you're looking for more of a wifey material, Philippines is going to win that out. If you're looking for a little bit more fun, then Thailand's going to win that one out. And there's a lot more I could say on that subject, but we're just doing a quick comparison, right? On that note, though, the friendliness factor. So this is all people, not just the women, but the women are included in this, obviously. They're people too. The people here in the Philippines, they appear to be more friendly. Now, I don't know if that's just the English proficiency, which is a huge deal, obviously. It's going to make your time here a lot better, especially if you're extroverted. Like me, I like to go out and have small conversations with people. The Philippines is a much better option for me. But if you're introverted, you might like Thailand better because you're not going to have as many interactions with people. But they're very friendly here in the Philippines. Like they want you here. Like they're very excited overall to have you around for whatever reason, and there's many reasons why. they're going to be more likely to want you to be here and try to make friends with you, invite you out to barbecues and karaoke and to drinking Red Horse with them. Whereas in Thailand, yeah, they're super friendly too. Don't get me wrong. Like they're still very friendly, very open, very like will invite you to do things, but they are a little more homogeneous in their desires. They want Thailand. They like Thai people better than foreigners in general. So if you're trying to like make friends with a ton of different locals, Philippines is going to be a better option for you. As far as the expats go, I've had a better experience with the expats here in the Philippines. They're generally more open to inviting you out, hanging out with you, being friendly, being helpful. Whereas in Thailand, it seemed like it was more party guys, but maybe that was my time in Pattaya or these retirement destinations, not retirement destinations, but kind of party locations. Bangkok is a huge city. So it would be more comparing a city to a rural level of friendliness there. But if you're looking to make friends and hang out with people, Philippines is going to be a better option, if nothing else for the English alone. But also I think the people here are more receptive to being buddies with a foreigner. All right, your nature. They're different areas. They're in the same region. They still both have like tropical climate, hot all year round kind of thing. Both have mountain areas. I'm in Malaybalay now. You have Baguio. In Thailand, you've got Chiang Mai. Beaches. Thailand has great beaches, a bunch of islands. The Philippines is an island nation, so if you're into beaches, Philippines is going to be a better option. If you're into more of like, you want like more of a rice paddy or hillside, Thailand's going to be a better option. If you're looking for tourist cities, Thailand's going to win. If you're looking for major metropolitan city, Thailand's going to win. But if you're that kind of guy that wants to hang out at beaches and be in the ocean, you just can't beat the Philippines. I mean, it's an island nation. There's everywhere you look is beaches, and there's a lot of diversity to it as well. So there's, you got pink sand beaches, black sand beaches, rock beaches, like anything you could want as far as a beach, you're gonna find here in the Philippines. So if you're coming specifically to live out kind of that dream of beach life, you're gonna probably prefer the Philippines. You're a foreigner in a foreign land. So what's extremely important for you is gonna be your visas and how you get to live here legally, because you don't want to live here illegally. You have to either be here on a visa, some kind of visa, whether it's retirement, you try to get naturalized as a citizen, you try to get a residency, maybe you're on an education visa, really any kind of reason you're over here. And across the board, in every single category, the Philippines is going to be the winner. So I'm on tourist visas, and you can do up to 3 years before you have to leave the country and come back. It's a little different depending on what town or island you're on. Generally, it's like 1 month, 1 month renewal. You get 1 month free when you come in, visa free. The 1 month renewal, then usually 6 months or 2 months renewal, and some extra paperwork. But that 3 years before you gotta leave the country. Whereas in Thailand, if you're on a retirement visa, you have to constantly update them every month. Hey, I'm still here, I'm still at this address. If you're on a tourist visa, if you want to apply beforehand, which is a big pain in the butt, 3 months off the jump, and then you can leave and come back for a month. But they're much more scrutinous on like how many times you've been doing it. You get like 2 land crossings a year on a tourist visa in Thailand, or up to 6 months inside the country on air, but sometimes they let you stay longer. Sometimes they don't. So if you leave your stuff and you come back and they say, you've been here too much, I don't think you're here as a tourist, you need to get gone. Yeah, now your stuff's stuck there, right? So as far as your visa and your government requirements to stay in a place, and Philippines is a winner. And this extends to even my experience inside the actual offices themselves. So in Thailand, I usually hire somebody to do it, because going to the offices usually takes a long time. There's a lot of, see this person, I'll see this person, I'll see this person. And it's very cumbersome, like you'll spend almost the whole day there. Whereas every experience I've had in the Philippines is The one time I did my exit clearance, it took me a couple hours, but all my renewals were like 20 minutes. Even near Cagayan de Oro, Dumaguete, it was all very quick and like painless pretty much. And at $50 a shot a month, essentially, what it boils down to. Whereas Thailand was slightly more expensive and a lot more hassle. So overall, to live here legally, Philippines is a big winner. And same as the English category. That's usually what people tell you. The English and the visas are the big selling points here in the Philippines. So I figure I'd save kind of something as a personal thing that I've noticed that it does affect me, and I don't think anybody ever talks about it, is just general like competency and how that affects you from everything from getting service done to when you go to pay bills, when you get charged. It's just every way the competency is a difference. So your average IQ in the Philippines is about 82, whereas in Thailand I think it's like 89 or so. And you'll see it when they're doing mathematics. Here in the Philippines they'll always use a calculator and they'll still end up making some mistakes. Having to spell everything out exactly how you want it done is a little more prevalent here in the Philippines. And just that general day-to-day life stuff and competency and attention to detail is a little bit higher in the Thailand. And it does affect on you because after months and years, this is something that's going to drag on you, especially if you're coming from a country where maybe the average IQ is 100 and maybe your local community is like 110 or so. You're kind of used to like high levels of competency, not having to explain anything, just things happening the way that they should happen and well thought out, future thinking, stuff like that. Thailand is a little bit better, but it's not as huge of a difference, but it is still an advantage. I think one of the reasons why the difference isn't that large, even though you do have a 7-point IQ difference, is that the Philippines really appears to value secondary education. So college, university, degrees, those seem like they're requirements for even like very basic jobs, like shop clerks and things of that nature. Jobs that in America you wouldn't even need a high school diploma in order to obtain. And as a guy who really values education myself, I really identify with the Filipino culture of valuing the attainment of knowledge and skills. So this has been me comparing Thailand to the Philippines. I hope it helped you out. I thought a little bit about the subject. Some of them are repetitive on what other YouTubers say. Other ones I've never heard anybody talk about it. So hopefully this kind of lets you, give you some heads up and something to think about before you come expatriate out to Southeast Asia. What might be more accommodating to you? Like I was telling my brother's pretty similar to me, but he's very introverted, whereas I'm more extroverted. I think he would prefer a place like Thailand or maybe even Japan to the Philippines because it is such a friendly environment here. They're so welcoming, they're so talkative, they're so nice. Whereas me, I would prefer here because I want to talk to strangers, I want to talk to people, I want to make friends. So to me, as far as an overall arching personality, introvert, extrovert, Philippines is a winner. And it's a big deal for me. Might not be a big deal for you, but that's why we do these videos, right? I'll see you guys later on down the path, and happy expatting.